What a week. It has been an interesting week, to say the least. As I always start, or for the past two episodes, I've start by asking how you are. Maybe have a think about how your week's been, or um, reflect a little bit on your past week. I've certainly been doing a lot of that myself. It's been absolutely crazy. Monday, my therapy got cancelled for the second time. So I've been anticipating the session I was meant to do for 2 weeks now, and it's the other half of the session that I had previously completed, and it's a bit of a tough one to do. So I kind of just want to get it over and done with, if you know what I mean. But unfortunately, it's been cancelled twice now, and it did get rescheduled to Thursday, but I wasn't available to do that. So, hey ho, that's how life is. We just go with the flow. And then Tuesday, my phone completely decided to just die. I had an iPhone 12 mini, and it was, of course, it was literally just about up. That was my phone. It was literally just about up on its contract, which is so typical. And I feel like phones tend to do that. I know I've had it for 3 years, but I mean, come on. With the technology these days, you'd think that things would last a bit longer. So that happened, and I've had to spend money on a phone that I really didn't want to spend money on. And then, after that, then I decided to get really ill. I think my little boy picked up something from nursery or from being out and about in general, and decided to gift that to me this week. So it's been a mixture of ups and downs, and it's certainly been a week of don't think. Not too much on the creative side, but yeah, it's been all life this week. Some positive things though that's happened this week is I did a demonstration at Crown Hills College for Crown Hills Art Society. They were such a lovely group of people, lovely artists, and I'd like to thank them for their welcoming nature and asking me questions and really taking interest in my work. That I think I needed that reaffirming attitude this week. And they really, really did give me that. Looking really closely at my latest painting, that they got a first glimpse of in person, and it seemed to be really well received. And they were just such a lovely group of people, so hospitable and welcoming, and it's nice to meet a group of artists that are like that and really do take interest in what you do, especially considering I am significantly younger than a lot of the people in that group, and it really did feel like I felt I was one thing I was worried about, um, and I advocate try not to worry, but I need to practice what I preach. And one thing I was worried about is I didn't want to come across as condescending. Um, not not that I expected to, but uh, they've got many more years than me, and it felt strange me giving advice and demonstrating what I do to people who I should be sat in front of, and that was very daunting for me, um, because I've always learned from my elders. I've always learned from people who have been in the industry or even in life in general. I love listening to stories and advice of people who have been in the field a lot longer than me. So it felt weird being on the opposite end of that, and showing what I do as an artist. And I feel like the time is moving where I'm stepping into a professional realm, so doing stuff like that is really good to kind of get myself out there. This was one of those opportunities. If you listen to the last episode where I said, if you get an opportunity, just say yes. Don't think about it. Just deal with it later. And this was absolutely one of those opportunities for me. It's not something that I would have ever seen me doing, especially being an anxious soul. And yeah, it was, I was full of anxiety, but I tried my best to kind of keep myself under control and keep that under control. So yeah, I did that and I felt pretty accomplished afterwards. Um, I'm not sure how many more I would like to do, which is okay. Nothing wrong on their half. I think it just wasn't something for me at my current stage of my practice, which is just as valid as if I come out there and thought I want to do 100 more. Learning that something isn't quite right for you is so important. Um, so then I can move forward and then look for things that are for me. And it's not completely written off. I would consider doing it in the future when I am a bit older, when I'm 100% sure on what I'm doing. Because the thing with me is I just paint, like, it's just something that is very not thought of. My process, I have a basic process, but not even I know how I paint the way I do. It just happens, and it is kind of that easy for me in a way. I know it's many, like, multiple years of practice and multiple years of educating myself on techniques from masters in portraiture techniques, but it just feels so normal to me. It's kind of jarring looking at your practice from the other side and really analyzing what you do so then you can show somebody else. And in oil painting, that's something I really struggle with. Whereas if I was to demonstrate someone how I would draw a flower in charcoal, I would find that a lot easier because there is kind of a step-by-step process with that. Whereas my oil paintings take such a long time and there's so much layering. It's really hard to cram that in a 2-hour session. So that was a good learning point for me, and I will definitely take my learnings and next time in the distant future when I do it again, I've got that experience. So next time it'll be less of a worry because I kind of know what I've got to expect. But they were lovely nonetheless. And Saturday I was out freelancing with the lovely Emma Faye. She is the most incredible body painter. She's done many, many projects, collaborations with other brands. She's got her own personal practice, and she is the creative director of the absolutely amazing Edem. They're like rural entertainment, a lot of theatre and performance, and it's just like it's amazing. Such an amazing company and such an amazing artist. So it's great to work for her and alongside some other freelancers who are all absolutely lovely. So her project is called Inspire, and it is about inspiration and feeling inspired and thinking about what inspires you as an individual and think about your well-being and how creativity influences that positively and getting people to have a go at different creative things. So we have, so me, I'm on the more painty table. We've got loads of what they called face paint sticks, and like eyeliner pens, and you can have a go at body art. It's really fun. The younger participants love it, go crazy colouring in their faces and all their crazy designs. It's amazing watching them really get stuck in. And of course, they always manage to convince the parents to be a canvas, which is always funny, especially from a parent's perspective, because I know some parents don't go to those things intending to get involved, but the kids always get you. And plus, you don't want to look like a bad parent. So it's nice. It's nice seeing the parents get involved too. We have a music area as well, with the lovely Tim, talented musician. He's brilliant. Yep. So got the music section. Of course, again, the younger people love making a racket, in that they absolutely do, and they have great fun over in that section as well. And Tim manages to stick things on loops and really get the kids involved, and it's really lovely to see kids just be allowed to make noise, and be allowed to explore different instruments that they might not have seen before or heard of before. And so that's lovely as well. And of course, we have a poetry, Emma has a poetry area for writing, and Will is the front man for that, poet man. Again, another super talented person. Yeah, so he gets the children, uses techniques and methods to get the children to use word association to write a poem. I might say that wrong, and if anyone, if Emma or anyone's listening to this, I'm so sorry. I'm trying. Yeah, gets them to write poems about what inspires them or what they're interested in, and there's been some really good ones. It's nice. It's nice to see the younger generation writing and being inspired to write and be inspired to create by the whole event. And of course, we have the lovely Pauline, who is assisting around and about, and she's been great at keeping me company, especially when I'm feeling anxious. She's great company, so she's absolutely lovely. Got Ben is taking interviews, and he is also part of Edem, as is Will. They work together with Emma and some other artists too. So he's doing all the interviews and getting the public to talk about what inspires them and what makes them feel inspired, and asking questions like, what do you do in your spare time? And it's nice to listen to people. Everyone is different. Every person that enters those library doors are completely different, and it's so lovely, especially when you've got the mix of cultures. And obviously some people are very inspired by their religion, or some people are very inspired by their grandchildren, or it's lovely to hear all the different things that people are fulfilled by, inspired by. So that's nice. And of course, most of all, we'll have Emma. Of course, she's doing some live body painting, which is just, for me, super inspiring to watch. Seeing the creations develop across the 4 hours that we are running the event. And what she does is she has a chat with the model. We've got community models, so they're not professional. they're from the community or people that have contacted Emma, and Emma has a chat with them, and Emma creates this concept based on what they've talked about, what the individual feels inspired by. And there's just been some absolutely amazing art, especially from a visual artist perspective. It's just so fun to watch, and to watch the process, because obviously I don't body paint. I paint, but I'd completely imagine the skin is a completely different canvas than just painting in general, and it's just amazing. And seeing the final work and the final videos and everything come together after each event is really nice. So if you are Leicester based, and or even don't mind traveling, I highly recommend getting involved. I'll get on my calendar and give you a date. So yes, so I'm recording, well, today's Monday the 18th of March, so the next event is on the 26th of March at Beaumont Leys Library, so do get along. It's really fun. You can get involved if you want to, or you can just have a browse at some of Emma's previous work, or have a chat to us if you would like to. And we're doing 1 till 1:30 till 5:30 that day. And also, if you're around Riverside Festival, we will be there too, which will be super busy, super fun. So yeah, come get involved. Don't think, just do it. Don't think, just create. Don't you dare worry about what people are thinking around you. Just get involved. It's great fun. And if you've got children that don't particularly want to paint themselves, I'll happily be a canvas. I have been a few times now. But yeah, if you want to know a bit more, best for you to either look on Emma's socials, which is MFA official, and her website is mfa.com. I believe. Yeah, it's great fun. So that's what I've been up to this week. Wow, it's a long one. I've nearly run up my podcast time. Yeah, but I was gonna come up on today and have something planned, an elaborate podcast with a theme and all that sort of stuff, but this week's just not been on it. So I thought I'd just come and just chat and tell you what's been going on, really. Some fun news as well. I've just finished a brand new painting called On Colour Coats Bay, and it's a painting of some seaweed that I found on the beach that I grew up on, and it's my absolute most favourite painting to date. I think I say that every time I make a new painting, which I'm sure is sort of a good thing. Yeah, I love it, but I've been given a great opportunity to hang it up on opening a local pub in Whitley Bay, which is northeast of England, where I grew up. And obviously, of course, I'm very familiar with Whitley Bay because it's like the neighbouring town to Cullercoats. And there's a new pub opening, and they've kindly invited me to put some work up on the wall. And then I cannot think of a better place to put a painting of seaweed from the neighbouring beach, from me, fellow Geordie. So that's really nice. That's really exciting. Apparently someone recommended me. I'd like to know who. If it was you and you were listening, please tell me. I would like to thank you, like massively thank you. That's a great opportunity, and if you're an artist, get yourself round to some pubs, cafes, I mean, again, I'm giving advice, but need to take it myself. I'll throw my hands up. I have a habit of doing that. I'm good at advice. I'm just not very good at taking it. Yeah, get yourself to round to some cafes, pubs, independent businesses. I mean, you could even throw your whack at uh, estate agencies. I think, um, all sorts of places. Get yourself round and just say, um, would you mind if I pop? Would you mind hosting some of my artwork? And you could even see if you can get it for no commission if it sells. But if not, then just offer a commission. Just say, well, this is the bargain. And it's a really, really good way to get your art out there in front of people outside of exhibitions, especially if you live in Leicester and there's a little bit of a lack of exhibition space. Yeah, that's Leicester. There's loads of art. Like, Leicester is great. It's growing in terms of the art scene. Especially I've been here for 6 years now, so I've really watched it grow. I don't know if that's just because I've got more connections, so I know more what's going on, but I feel like it has grown quite significantly in the past 6 years I've been here. But unfortunately, there's not too much in terms of space for emerging visual artists that is accessible or affordable or funded. So that's a thing. So if you're in a situation like that, local places, local small businesses, every small business loves having something on their wall. It's nice. It makes it feel more homely, more comfortable. And it's just a great way to kind of put your artwork in front of people without a submission fee. And you never know, someone might purchase your work and become really interested and become a collector. You just never know. All sorts of things can come from these opportunities, and that's what kind of don't think, just create um is about, is just doing. Jump into the unknown, and you never know what will come out of it. There's been a few things that I've done that have surprised me with further opportunities. I mean, I did 2 internships after university, and it was the best decision I've ever made doing internships. I think I learned more from my internships than I did from university, which towards the education system, that's probably saying something. um, but yeah, I thought it would be a great idea to make immediate connections straight after university. You know, I'm stepping straight into the art world. I didn't intend to get a job. Risky, yeah, I know, with a child, absolutely. I've been very fortunate to have a absolutely supporting partner um, that has allowed me the space to do that. Um, I'm fully aware of how fortunate I've been in that circumstance. So yeah, I hopped straight out of uni into in the space of industry. I did my first internship with Edem, which you've heard me mention earlier on in this episode. That's then led on to connections and further work, and I've been so grateful for the work that I've received through Emma and through Enter Edem, and the support from all of the artists that work under the umbrella of Enter Edem in general is just amazing. It's such a lovely community, and that's led on to further work, which has been amazing. And then I did an internship with creative programs at Curve Theatre, and again, that's led on to further freelance roles and um, all that sort of thing. And that's why you've got to take these opportunities. And now I've had experience in workshops, and I've witnessed how events can be run. I've witnessed, I learn all the time from Emma. She's just amazing. So yeah, that's been great. So yeah, take opportunities and make opportunities. Go out, grab it, grab what you want. If you've got a vision and you're passionate, don't worry. Don't worry about it. Take one step at a time. Like I said in the last episode, stepping stones. Take one step at a time and just go and grab it. Go and get it for yourself. Don't worry about the process. You'll learn the process throughout. I mean, do you think a lot of those other practitioners out there just knew what to do? Because I highly doubt it. Or if you're not sure, go and find someone that can teach you or give you some advice. Just go and get what you want. You know, it can literally be that simple. You've just got to think of it as something simple, and then take the next step as it comes. So that's my advice for this episode. I'm so sorry if this is a really shit episode. It is just me talking. I've been in such pain with my back today and not being well. So I didn't want to miss a week, because thing with me, if I miss one week, I'll miss the next week, and then we'll have no more podcasts. So I'm really trying to stick with it, and so should you. Stick with what you're doing and just do it. That's simple. So if you have got this far, and listened to my really rubbish third episode of the Don't Think Just Create podcast, thank you very much for listening, and I will be a bit more prepared next week. And yeah, so if you don't know already, again, where have you been? My name is Chloe Jean Brown, and I am a contemporary traditional artist, and you've been listening to Don't Think Just Create the podcast. So I hope to see you next time. Bye.